up where the cornfield's been, under a sky that don't pretend. Mama said, girl, roots run deep, but I heard wheels hum in my sleep. I loved a boy with steady hands. He wanted fences, wanted plans. I wanted maps with coffee stains and sunsets seen from passing trains. I don't leave 'cause I don't care. I leave 'cause I feel alive out there. I've loved hard, I've let go, I've chased a sunrise. I don't know, every mile's another truth. I'm still finding pieces of my youth. I don't know where I'll finally be, but the road keeps teaching me. Yeah, the road keeps me. Some nights I miss the porch light glow, the sound of cicadas nice and low. Some love stays, some drift away, like towns you pass but never stay. I've cried in cars, I've prayed in bars, I've traced my dreams across the stars. Every goodbye still leaves a scar, but I'm closer now to who you are. I don't need a perfect plan, just a direction and a strength to stand. I've loved hard, I've let go, I've chased a sunrise. I don't know, every mile's another truth. I'm still finding pieces of my youth. I don't know where I'll finally be, but the road keeps teaching me. Yeah, yeah, the road keeps me. If I stop someday and settle down, it won't mean I was ever lost. It just means I finally found what every wandering heart looks for. I've lived wide, I've lived true, I've seen the world in shades of blue. From small town prayers to open seas, every step was shaping me. I don't know where I'll finally be, but the road keeps teaching me. Yeah, the road keeps me. If love waits, I hope it knows I had to walk this road alone. Oh, little town on a quarter tank, name on the sign said last chance. Barroom buzzing like a live wire hum. Friday night, nowhere to run. Saw him leaning on the jukebox light, smile like trouble, eyes too kind. He said, you look like you've been gone a while. I said, long enough to know better, but not to mine. I knew the rules, I knew the cost. The lonely hearts don't stop to count what's lost. The neon don't judge, it just shines on bad decisions and good alibis. I kiss strangers and bled regrets in places I ain't left yet. Love pumps fast, it leaves a mark. Sometimes it swings, sometimes it sparks. You learn real quick what's right from wrong when the neon's on. The neon don't judge. He talked big dreams and busted knuckles, said this town chews up hope like bubble gum. Someone laughed, someone shoved him first. I don't know why, but I stood right up. Bottle hit the floor, chair hit the wall. I pulled him out before the cops got called. Blood on his lip, hand in mine. We ran like kids past the county line. Adrenaline and cheap perfume, moonlight shaking in that motel room. The neon don't judge, it just shines on bad decisions and good alibis. I've kissed strangers and bled regrets in places I ain't shafted. Love dumps fast, it leaves a mark. Sometimes it swings, sometimes it sparks. You learn real quick what's right from wrong when the neon's on. The neon don't judge. We sold forever by flickering TV. Said, girl, you're different, but I've heard that speech. A sunrise, he was asleep, and still I cocked my bag, 'cause I always will. The neon don't judge, it just glows on everything you hide and everything it shows. I've danced with danger, love too hard, left fingerprints on broken hearts. I don't stay long, I don't pretend. Some nights are just a means to an end, but every scar sings me a song when the neon's on. Tell him the road already knows my name. You weren't loud like the rest of them, didn't talk just to hear your voice. You listened like you meant every word, like love was still a choice. We walked slow through an empty town, stars hanging low and wide. You said, girl, you ever get tired of leaving? I laughed, but I didn't lie. You saw through the miles in my eyes, saw the fear I don't advertise. I almost stayed, I won't deny, almost let forever try, almost unpacked this restless heart, almost gave you all of me, not just the parts, but the road was calling my name, and loving you felt too much like change. I'd almost stayed, yeah, I almost stayed. You left your jacket on my seat, said in case the night gets cold. I said I'd bring it back someday, but we both knew better, I suppose. You talked about a place to land, something solid, something real. I kept nodding like I agreed, while my hands were gripping the wheel. I don't run 'cause love is wrong, I run 'cause love asked me to belong. I almost stayed, I won't deny, almost let forever try, almost unpacked this restless heart, almost gave you all of me, not just the parts, but the road was calling my name, and loving you felt too much like change. I'd almost stay, yeah. almost stayed. I heard you moved out west last spring, found someone who doesn't roam, someone who knows how to stay put, someone who makes you feel at home. Sometimes I pull off the highway, kill the engine, kill the sound. Wonder who I'd be right now if I turned around. If loving me was a gamble, you deserve better odds. I'm brave on roads, I'm weak on roots, and that's a truth I lost. I almost stayed, God knows I tried, almost love rewrite my life, almost learned to need someone instead of needing where I run. But the road still knows my name, and loving me meant I'd have to change. I almost stayed, but I drove away your jackets, still in the backseat. Smells like what could have been. Met you leaning on a borrowed bike outside a bar that should have closed. You had that grin that don't ask twice and eyes that never tell you no. You said my name like you knew me, like you'd been waiting all night. I should have heard every warning bell, but loneliness is loud sometimes. I was aching, you were easy, that's a dangerous design. We were matches and gasoline, too fast, too hot, too damn mean. Burned all the rules we didn't say, lit up the dark, then ran away. You don't heal pain by adding fire, you don't find loss with cheap desire. I knew better, but I dove right in. We were matches and gasoline. You talked big dreams and back road schemes, said you never stay too long. I laughed like I wasn't listening, like I hadn't heard that song. You drank cause you drove faster, said, girl, you worry too much. But when your temper flipped like a switch, love started feeling like a shove. Every kiss felt like a warning sign, every silence cruised the line. We were matches and gasoline, too fast, too hot, too damn mean. Burned all the rules we didn't say, lit up the dark, then ran away. You don't wield pain by adding fire, you don't fight loss with cheap desire. There's a thin line between the thrill and fright. Some flames don't warm, they only scar, and I don't need to fall that hard. We were matches and gasoline, a lesson learned in kerosene. Some love don't bend, they only break. Some mistakes you don't remake. I won't heal pain by adding fire. I won't chase loss with cheap desire. I walked away and I let it in. We were matches and gasoline. Still got smoke in my clothes sometimes, but I'm done playing with that kind of fire.
Morning light through a dusty pane. Coffee gone cold, head still aching. No sirens, no slam doors, just silence knocking like it wants in. I replay every word I said, every sign I chose to ignore. Funny how peace feels heavier than the chaos I wore before. I blame the world, I blame the road, but some things were mine to hold. There's a stillness between miles, where the truth don't shout, it just stays a while. I see my faults, I own my scars. I chased escape instead of who you are. I'm not ashamed, I'm not the same. I'm learning how to slow my pace. Yeah, I'm finally here in the stillness between miles. I used to think love was a fire. If it didn't burn, it wasn't real. But some flames just leave you empty, and some wounds take time to heal. I don't need noise to feel alive, don't need danger to feel seen. I'm starting to trust the quiet and what it says about me. I don't regret the roads I ran, I regret the times I didn't stand. There's a stillness between miles, where the truth don't shout, it just stays a while. I see my faults, I own my scars. I taste escape instead of who you are. I'm not ashamed, I'm not the same. I'm learning how to slow my pace. Yeah, I'm finally here in the stillness between miles. I still love the open highway, still feel freedom in you, but I'm done confusing movement with what it means to heal. Somewhere out there love might wait, or maybe love is learning me. Either way, I'm not afraid of who I'm starting to be. Growth don't come with flashing lights, it comes in quiet nights like this, when you stop running from your shadow and forgive the girl you were. There's a stillness between miles, where I finally meet myself. I don't need pain to feel alive, I don't need loss to find my way. I'm not finished, but I'm whole. I'm letting go of what I know and breathing here in the stillness between miles. I'll drive again, but not to disappear. I'll drive again, and not to disappear.
The welcome sign's a little rusted, still ain't like it always did. Main Street smells like rain and coffee and somebody else's cigarettes. That old house still creaks at night, same porch lights, same cracked step. Funny how it feels smaller now, but it don't feel wrong like I expected. I left here chasing something more. Turns out I brought it back with me. It's the same town, but I got new eyes. I see love where I used to see lines. I don't feel stuck, I don't feel small, I just feel rooted. That's all. I don't need saving, I don't need out. I finally know what I'm about. Yeah, I came back changed, no disguise, same town, new eyes. Mama asked if I found what I wanted. I said I found out who I am. She smiled like she always knew, like this was always in the plan. I walked past names I used to run from, memories I once outran. They don't weigh me down like before, they just feel like where I began. I don't regret the roads I chose, they just led me back here home. It's the same town, but I got new eyes. I see love where I used to see lines. I don't feel stuck, I don't feel small, I just feel rooted. That's all. I don't need saving, I don't need out. I finally know what I'm about. Yeah, I came back changed, no disguise, same town, new eyes. I still hear the highway calling, still feel that pull sometimes. But now I know the difference between running and choosing a life. If I leave again, it won't be escape, it'll be honest, it'll be slow. And if I stay, it won't be fear, it'll be 'cause I finally know homemade chains and it ain't a cage. It's a place you meet yourself, and the girl I was needed the world, so this woman could know herself. It's the same town, but I got new eyes. I'll chase storms to feel alive. I don't measure life by miles gone by, I measure it by peace inside. I left to learn, I came back strong, still got dreams, they just grew roots. Yeah, I came back changed, no disguise, same town, new eyes. The road didn't lose me, it just brought me home.
to impress. You show up when you say you will, and you don't disappear when things get heavy. We sit on the tailgate at sundown, counting stars we don't have to chase. You don't ask me where I've been, you ask me how I feel today. I keep waiting for the catch, but you don't play like that. Easy doesn't mean weak, quiet doesn't mean small. Just 'cause love don't hurt me don't mean I don't feel it at all. You don't break me to prove you care, you just stay and you're always there. I've been burned, I've been proved wrong, now I know where I belong. Easy doesn't mean weak. You hold my hand like it matters, like you're not afraid of time. You don't need to cage my freedom, you just walk right by my side. I still flinch when doors shut hard, still double check what feels real. But you don't take that personal, you just give me room to heal. You let love grow its own pace, but somehow that feels brave. Easy doesn't mean weak, quiet doesn't mean small. Just 'cause love don't hurt me don't mean I don't feel it at all. You don't break me to prove you care, you just stay and you're always there. I've been burned, I've been proved wrong, now I know where I belong. Easy doesn't mean weak. I still live an open highway, still need sky bigger than me. But now I don't feel guilty for wanting somewhere to be. You don't ask me to be finished, you don't ask me to be sure. You just love me where I am, and somehow that feels secure. I thought love was firefight, thought it had to leave a scar. But sometimes love's a steady light that shows you who you are. Easy doesn't mean weak, it means strong enough to stay, strong enough to love me without pushing me away. I don't need chaos to believe, I don't need pain to feel seen. I've been wild, I've been alone, now I finally feel at home. Easy doesn't mean weak. If I leave someday, it won't be fear, it'll be knowing you'll still be here. same old sounds, clock on the wall, night settling down. You're breathing slow, your hand finds mine. Like this life finally learned our time. I should feel done, I should feel home, but there's a restlessness I don't control. Like something moving under my skin, a ghost of who I've always been. I don't miss the pain, I don't miss the scars, but I miss the girl who chased the dark. There's a fire on the still water, burning quiet, burning slow. I love you deep, I love you honest, but I still feel that pull to go. I don't want the wreckage, I don't want the fear, just the rush that tells me I'm still here. I'm not leaving, I'm not at war, but there's a fire under still water. I see the highway in my dreams, feel the hum of the broken seams, neon lights and open doors. That girl I was still wants more. You talk about next year, next plans. I nod like I don't understand how part of me is already gone. Just listening to an old road song. I learned how to choose love right, but choosing still don't kill tonight. There's a fire under still water, burning quiet, burning slow. I love you deep, I love you honest, but I still feel that toll to go. I don't want the wreckage, I don't want the fear, just a rush that tells me I'm still here. I'm not leaving, I'm not at war, but there's a fire under still water. I don't want chaos, don't wanna run, don't wanna undo what we've become, but I can't lie and I won't pretend that this road inside me has an end. If loving me means loving me free, letting me wander without guilt or grief, then maybe this fire won't burn us down. Maybe it's just who I am now. Some hearts sin, some hearts roam, some learn how to do both. I don't need to choose tonight, but I need you to know the truth. There's a fire under still water, I'm learning how to hold the heat. I love you here, I love you now, but I still crave the edge of me. I won't burn, it's just to be alive, but I won't bury this part inside. I'm not leaving, I'm just aware there's a fire under still water. We were washing dishes, radio low. Nothing heavy, nothing wrong. He said, you've been somewhere else lately. I said, I felt that way all along. I stared at the window like he might answer, watched the dark roll down the street. I said, I love you more than I can say, but my hands were shaking when I spoke next. Some truths don't break, they bend the air, and once they're said, they're just there. Some roads don't close when love walks in, they just get quiet underneath. I don't want to lose what we've built, but I can't lie about what lives in me. I won't disappear, I won't betray, I just need you to hear me say, some roads don't close. You didn't yell, you didn't run, you just leaned back in your chair, like you were measuring every word against the life we share. You said, I don't wanna cage you. I said, I don't wanna go, but the space between those sentences was louder than we both know. Love ain't always right or wrong. Sometimes it just lasts, or it moves on. Some roads don't close when love walks in, they just get quieter underneath. I don't wanna lose what we built, but I can't lie about what lives in me. I won't disappear, I won't betray, I just need you to hear me say, some roads don't close. We sat there long past midnight, let the silence have its say. No ultimatums, no conditions, just the truth laid out our way. I saw fear in your eyes, but I saw respect too, like you knew this wasn't leaving, it was me trusting you. I don't know what tomorrow brings, I don't know how this ends, but I'd rather stand here honest than pretend to be someone else again. Some roads don't close when love walks in, they just change the way they breathe. I'm not choosing distance over us, I'm choosing truth over peace. I'll stay the night, I'll stay sincere, but I won't promise what I feel. Some roads don't close. You reached for my hand and didn't pull away, and that's how I knew everything had changed. You still kiss me before you leave, still ask if I locked the door, but something's off in the timing, like we're half a beat unsure. We talk about nothing important, whether work, passing time. Like we're scared that if we dig too deep, we won't like what we find. Every word feels measured now, like we're afraid of what it might allow. We tried to name it silence, tried to call it something small, said it was just tired or the weight of it all, but silence don't answer and it don't explain. It just sits between two people who love each other, not the same. You say maybe this will pass, I say yeah, maybe it will. But hope feels thinner lately and honesty feels heavier still. We don't fight, we don't cry, we don't slam a single door. We just circle the same questions like we've been here before. I miss the way we didn't think before we said what we meant. We tried to name the silence, tried to call it something small, said it was just tired or the weight of it all, but silence don't answer and it don't explain. It just sits between two people who love each other, not the same. I catch you watching me sometimes like you're already letting go, and I wonder if you're bracing for a truth we both know. I still love you in the quiet, still choose you every day, but choosing doesn't stop the drift when you're pulled a different way. No one failed, no one lied, no one crossed a line. We just stopped moving together at the same point in time. We felt the never silence, tried to make it behave, tried to turn it into something that we didn't have to face, but silence don't bend and it don't lie. It just waits for the moment someone finally says goodbye. You reach for me, I held you still, and neither of us spoke because we both knew what words would do. And neither one of us was ready. Yeah. I tried to name a silence, I tried to call it something small. I folded shirts you'll never wear, left them stacked on your side, paused at the door like maybe there was something left to try. You stood there holding your coffee like it might anchor you down. Neither one of us was shaking, but the air was heavy somehow. We said goodbye without a fight, and somehow that felt worse. I didn't leave angry, I didn't leave cold, I left You asked if I'd call when I got settled. I said, yeah, maybe I will. We both smiled like that answer was kinder than the truth we held. I touched your face like a muscle memory, like my hands didn't get the news. I wanted to stay just to prove something, but staying wouldn't have been true. Some loves don't fade, and they change their shape and let you walk away. I didn't leave angry, I didn't leave cold. I left love in you more than you'll ever know. There was no villain, no right or wrong, just a place where we didn't belong. If you ever replay that dawn, I didn't leave angry, I left honest. I drove until the sky turned pink, pulled over just to breathe, cried for what we almost were and for who I couldn't be. I hope you find a steadier love, one that don't ache like me. And I hope when you say my name it don't taste bittersweet. I would've burned the road for you, it's burning fixed what we became. But loving you meant letting go, and that still feels the same. I didn't leave angry, I didn't leave cold. I left love in you, with my hands wide open, no slam doors, no final plea, just a truth standing quietly. If you ever tell our story wrong, say I didn't leave angry, I left honest. I took my keys, you kept the light, and we both stood there knowing love doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes it means going Sky went green on the county line, radio warned me twice, said pull over, take your time. I tightened my grip and drove through the night. Wind pushed hard on the side of the car, rain came down like a dare. I could've stopped, I could've stayed, but standing still never got me there. I don't confuse this with escape. I know exactly what I'm facing. I drove anyway, with thunder in my chest. I knew the risk, I felt the weight, still pressed my foot against regret. I'm not lost, I'm not afraid. I just don't value quiet lives if the storm's the price I pay. I drove anyway. Every mile felt like a question, every flash lit up my past. Loves I kept, loves I left, every reason I didn't last. I'm done asking for permission, done pretending I don't feel. Some hearts don't wanna come rising, they want something sharp and real. I don't need peace to feel alive, I need truth. Even apologize for the woman I became. I drove anyway, with lightning in my veins. I don't need shelter from the sky. I need motion, I need change. I don't know where this ends, and I don't need to know tonight if the storm's the truth I chase. I drove